Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobby Richardson, and I'll be your guide for today. Today, I'm going to do a special bit of a broadcasty thing. Some really profound messages are coming through, and I wanted to capture them while they're coming through. I'm just going to set up for this chat bar, even though I don't think anyone would turn up because it's not my usual time. Let's just see how this goes. Any case, there. Oh, wow, we have a couple of people on already. Maybe newbies because it's not my usual time. Okay, so my name is Bobby and I am a seer, and my soul comes straight from Pleiades, and I'm here to help with these grid lines. So I had this really profound message last week and I was trying to integrate it. And it was to do with the shadow work that the light workers are doing. We get into this point. They're calling it it's like a point of sonoluminescence within one's pineal gland, where a spark of consciousness is going to be ignited. So that was pretty profound right there. And that spark of consciousness is allowing our soul to come in. So I'm a channeler. If anyone doesn't know me, this is what I do. So the spark of consciousness is coming into the light workers' understanding of bringing through their soul more, and it's grounding their soul, which is love, going on a journey, right? And we're all that, but when we're open more to that contents, we allow more light into that pineal gland, and then we become more grounded in this physical form of that light or love that is residing in the higher frequencies. In other words, we're bringing our higher authentic self into these bodies or understandings of ourselves more while we are living in this avatar or this body. So I work with the Pleiadians mostly, and they're coming through very strongly at the moment. There's an activation being created right here for humanity to expand their awareness. And it's like a grid. We're forming this grid. So as one sparks, it only needs one to spark that awareness of consciousness. And we all kind of simultaneously do it together, because it will activate everybody else that's light workers around the world. Who's a light worker? Anyone that works within the realms of the light. We're all going to be working with that in the end. But the ones that come from other dimensions, other places, other fifth dimensional aspects and beyond, and frequencies on Earth and off other planets are going to be activated, more likely to be activated first, not necessarily. There is always choice for every single sovereign being as a soul to be activated, no matter who they are. Just it's an amount of whether they've done the work, the inner journey, the work, that the shadow work of realizing that the program that was pulled over them was keeping them in a limited consciousness, or allowing them to actually connect to that light, which has a lot of wisdom within it. Through all of these solar flares that have been hitting us at the moment, this is the activation as well. Many years ago, when I was asking about what's this reality to Pleiadians, they showed me in a very 2D kind of a fashion, where beyond the sun, beyond the central galaxy and the sun, was source energy, just like going on a journey, and it decided to like cover up. They showed me in a very 2D way or 3D way, whatever you want to call it, where it was a 3D way, but to them it's like us looking at 2D. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So they showed me just light going on a journey and covering up one of their legs in this black blanket, and then they pinpricked it with all of these holes, and then they said, they're your stars. And they said they are going to activate you, because when source energy itself is light, wants to activate something in the realms of your reality, your planetary alignments and so forth, it comes through the sun. So source energy is always active within the realms of the galaxy. that you are situated in. And you are here on earth, and so your solar flares are hitting you at the moment and pelting you with more love so that you can activate this. But you have to be consciously aware of what's going on within your inner world, because if you're only looking outside of you for something, it will not show up, because it's the inner world that is first activated and then the outer world is the reflection of that. So at the moment, there's all these activation. I didn't even know what was going to happen when I went live. I just thought I will plunge into this and go live and see what happens. And so this is what's coming up. Just let me get back onto. I haven't got my actual chat bar on, so I'm just going to go back onto my YouTube and see if I can find that first. View channel, excuse me, guys. That's better. Hey, Sky, good to see you. Surprise live. That's better. I can actually see my people on my chat bar. So yeah, I really wanted to just come live at the moment because there was all this activation happening. They're showing me this. So this glass bubble ball, see? If I hold it, they said at a certain angle, you can see all the bubbles that are like, and they're saying each bubble is a person that is a light worker that's situated around the earth. And so we are activating so that we can connect, and we can connect in this. It's through lights telepathically, but and so we'll all kind of get the same messages coming up at once. So you might see other light workers out there on YouTube that are coming up the same messages. It's just confirmation of the fact that this has all been activated at the moment, through those that hold certain codes or keys. It's going to spread like wildfire. There's going to be more. It's not that it's going to it's really interesting. It's like certain people will hang on tooth and nail to that old paradigm. And so to them, it won't feel like much is happening because they're holding on, but they'll actually feel more and more tense. Those that have been activated are going to feel a lot lighter. They'll want to start partying it up on Earth. That's what I'm saying. Like partying it up on Earth, exploring things that they really wanted to do when they were kids, or the excitement of where their feelings can take them, their passions, their desires, where that can take them. That's going to be activated more. So, and we're to use what's here available in the material world to help us, guide us. So social media, all of that, don't see it as something that is against humanity. Is here for purpose as well. If you are risen above that as source energy and the awareness of that, then you're already in a higher frequency and able to navigate through all, like things like AI and the web and all of that sort of thing, as to your advantage rather than your disadvantage, because everything is in reflection here for an advantage. Is the way that you perceive things. It's how you acknowledge it. I'm literally activating others as I'm saying this as well. So there's going to be other people too around the world that are doing this work as well. So yeah, there's a lot of the Pleiadian agenda has been activated. Those that have come from that frequency because of their closeness to the DNA cycle of humans as well, cousins, so to speak. And because of that closeness, they could be active, that lineage or those light workers can be activated first or soon or now. All timing, oh gosh, sorry, just slow down. Sorry, I'm telling them to slow down a bit. I'm getting all this information. I'm trying to put it in a logical way so that you can understand. It's almost like this excitement that they're all chilled with it. It's like activating me into more excitement, because it's an awareness beyond. And how do I take that? Like, how do I channel that through? Okay, I'll take a sip of tea. Hey, Yannicka, I did say that my team will push me into surprise lives. So here's a surprise live. Surprise! Yeah. So how they showed me, or they gave me this incredible feeling like last week, and it was like, oh my God, I get it now. I've as being a single girl out in the world, I'm obviously, wishing for not only a beautiful partner to come in, because that's what we do, but also activating soul tribes and stuff. And they were showing me like when you peel away the layers, what will happen is they will stand out because they will become a beacon of light because you are resonating at the same frequency then, and you won't need to go searching for anyone. When they come into your reality, they will stand out because it's like a tuning fork. And if you are at the same note of the tuning fork that has been activated, then automatically you vibrate as well. So you have this resonance that happens. And that's literally what's happening, even though we're not in the same locale as those that are around the other side of the world that are light workers, right? Activating. Then as they resonate, we resonate as well. It's like a grid that's created, and it's creating a path where we don't have to be the ones that get the scythe out and thrash through all of the rabble and the mess that's the mind mess and anymore. It's more of a path that's clearer, and we're walking it again, and we can then use it to come back and help and loop back and help. But always know that that path is clear now, so it becomes a lot easier. And it's to do with the neuron paths within the mind of being able to center oneself at any given moment, no matter what sort of things are coming up in the outside world to show you either a lesson or guide you through to someone who needs a lesson, or and it could be a kind of a tense situation for a little bit, but you always can come back to central point so that you're walking that path where you're not feeling anxiety or stress anymore. You are constantly in this higher elevated frequency, being able to walk that path, and be that guiding light, that shining light for others to resonate with as well. When they see it within themselves, which all frequencies are capable within a human body to be activated. It's just the amount of mind, thought, or gabble that goes over that lies over that, or the neuron paths that have been treaded on of self-doubt and not feeling good about oneself, and victimization, or feeling like you need to control outside of you to feel good about yourself, which is still coming from a victim point of view, really. Even perpetrators and victims are of the same frequency. Then, yeah, sorry, I just got to catch up to all of what they're trying to bring through here. So there's a whole heap of messages, new messages being activated, codes within bodies of people that have come from other frequencies that are going to be activated, because they come back to their awareness of who they truly are when they're no longer treading on themselves through being a victim and that sort of thing. So Yeah, at this present moment, this is happening. At this present moment, this activation of light workers is happening. It's also going to, they're showing me the pyramids activate certain lost energy grid lines. They're also showing me that Earth herself, as she shifts from the chakra points of what she used to be, and she shifts to merge, to shifts those energy lines a little bit. That's why it's called the shift, so that it's no longer the ones that were holding things hostage of power, of magic, say like Pine Gap in the middle of Australia. I know that one because I come from Australia. Arizona, they're telling me. There's all sorts. There's some in Africa as well. There's certain grid lines that were held hostage by limited consciousness. It's all shifting. And so new activations will be created as well. Although those that are held in alignment with other planets, like the pyramids of Giza with Orion's belt, and there's more activating around Brazil or the Incas. There's other places as well that are in alignment with planets. They're showing me Pleiades alignment is under the water, or something to do with the Atlantis, or oh my gosh, they're going to be activated. Lemuria and or the Atlantic Ocean. That's going to be activated. So the planets will be activated again, but only of those of the higher frequencies, which is going to then connect. When we awaken, we start to see those that were not visible to the eye, will be seen by the eye, by the third eye, and then be brought forward or grounded by the eyes to be seen visibly. They are around us anyway, but we merge into their frequency, and we will see more UFO contact, more contact by specific individuals, which will collaborate. It's almost like a split that's happening as well. Just so much activation. I'm literally feeling dizzy. This is huge, and it's not at the same time. It's so funny how they say things. This is huge, but it's like, just part of the path. There's still more to come, and there's still more activations, and it's huge, but it's not at the same time, because we're just moving. Our whole way, the way that we're thinking is changing up. People that weren't seeking within themselves are going to start to be activated to seek within themselves. Then they have to go through the shadow work. Then they need somebody to look. So we have the mainstream of humanity starting to be activated, but in a way that the light workers, were activated a while ago. So we have to be compassionate with this. If everybody raised their vibration at the same time, then you'd be out of a job as a light worker. That's why it's not hierarchy, but it's just certain specific people with codes that can be awoken. And then when that happens, activations and grids are forming around Earth that keeps it as that is it. That fifth dimensional aspect has now funnel or a vortex through to the pineal gland that will activate you into the fifth dimension if you choose, because it's all choice as well. Remember that. And if someone chooses to hang on to the unbalanced state of mind and in the victimization or whatever, it is their choice. it would not exist unless Prime Creator wanted that experience, because Prime Creator is everything. And so, or God, whatever you want to call it, it is everything. It is the soul. It is everything. But souls are also the individual aspects of Prime Creator, split into many fractions that reside within our bodies, avatars, as the light that enters the egg, as it is birthed, as it is fertilized. So this, oh my God, there's so much information. Yeah, I did want to capture this. I wasn't sure what was going to come through. But it is a grid line that's activated. Is, I think, the most important thing at the moment that we need to at least allow into our awareness to be of substantial news. If we allow it into awareness to be of substantial news, then it grounds it as something. Remember, all imaginations can be grounded, just depends on how many of us are going to decide that this is it. But we've already got the light workers who are compatibly working together anyway, telepathically, energetically. And so when we are activated like that, that becomes that possibility. That's why that's why they had a specific number in the Bible, 144, that was presence. It was more of the fact that we needed a specific amount of people here to carry that light when the light was activated, so that we could have the new experiences coming in and feel safe. We're grounding this on earth through our understanding of that we are more than just the logical mind repeating itself and regurgitating, copying and pasting and all of that. We're more than that. We need it to live this beautiful life so that we can ground something and copy and paste it and, reinvent it over and over so that other people can have it. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not the be all. There is this other aspect of self, and when we go tap into that imagination, which taps into the soul and the soul lineage of the individual person waking it up, that activates so many more magical things that can happen, because their soul lineage carries codes of things that they actually had happened to them before they were born. And that's why we actually have quite a few now being born with memories intact of their past lives as well, so that they can bring that through, because in the fifth dimension, time doesn't exist in the higher dimensions, time's not the same. It's not a linear story, although we need to have the linear story from birth to death so that we can actually have this fascinating journey and, storyline. Otherwise, we will all be in the fifth dimensions and not have the practical birth to death storyline, and then we will end up just being in a dream world where time is the illusion. But we need the time, and we need the fixed reality, the material reality, to be as our new playground. But we also are asking to activate magic within us, so that we're not looking for somebody who's coming from their lack to tell us what the laws and rules are of this world, because they are only coming from their own perceived notion that they need to control everyone, and because they haven't controlled their inner world. So we are activating the magic within us, meaning telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, all of those beautiful things, which when those three are activated, there is nobody that can control you anymore, because you can teleport onto a mountain, you can manifest a house on a mountain that's way outside of the conventional, you have to be in a suburbial manner and we can control you with these bills. That goes. I don't even know what that was. It goes. So you become higher then, because you have activated these other understandings within us. Now, you might be one that activates it for your grandchildren or your children's children's children or something. You might be the activator for it. You might actually activate it within yourself and it become an actual grounded thing on this planet. It depends on what your soul has chosen to before it was born, what you felt you wanted to experience. You can change anything at any given moment, but there will be a specific lineage or line that your soul is happy to take. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So time is of the illusion when it gets to the higher frequencies, and that's where magic can be manifested in direct time. But we have to also remember that we need that lineal story. If we don't have the lineal story, then we've lost what we've carved into. So in other words, humanity's consciousness carved into the depths of the material world, because source energy wanted to have that as a playground, and it cannot be that playground. It can't be that playground anymore if we completely leave it, right? And not to say that you might want to experience the fifth dimensions and reside in those worlds of and beyond. Like, let's put it this way: beyond the fifth, beyond. There's all these different dimensions that are on Earth herself. There is the third dimension. There's nothing wrong with the third dimension because it is the physical world. This is where we're grounding more love into, actually. But we're living in an unbalanced way where we're actually less than. It's really interesting what they're saying. This third dimension and having the physical, tangible, actual things that you don't stick your finger through and so forth. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's how, source energy wanted to have that story, or, be born. And it's the mind that's keeping us in a fear-based scenario that is alleviating. The limitations of the mind keeping us there and only looking outside ourselves for confirmation instead of creating from the inner world out, or the inner light out. I think that there's another profound message there that I could probably do another talk on. But I think I want to really focus in on the message that they first gave me, which was more to do with that grid line being activated by the light workers that are starting to. They have done so much work on themselves, and you've probably gone through the mill and back. Like, honestly, it's not been an easy journey. Spiritual journey is not an easy journey, so to speak, when you're trying to get yourself out of something that your whole reality outside of you has been showing you that's all there is. And so for you to go, I am beyond that, and I am going to activate more than that, is kudos to you guys. Same with those that have held the codes life after life. They've gone through so much. Is there any other messages about this new grid line that's been activated so that humanity can step into the higher frequencies easier? There's so much that's going to be showing up, more showing up. Those that are in the higher frequencies will see the magic. Those that are in the limited consciousness will not. They're showing me Mr. Megorian's Wonder Emporium movie, where there's a tax man that comes into the shop and it's a magical shop, and no matter where he looks, he does not see magic, even though it was happening all around him. If you aren't in the frequency of the magic, it will not show up for you. Some of us have got specific soul contracts that keep us not being contacted into a certain divine timing, or not having the activation of channeling until a specific divine timing that is in alignment with your soul has learnt enough of that world that was out of balance. It's learned what it's needed so that it can return and help other people. Because if you skip if you skip a step or two or three, then you won't be able to help those people in that time that that you skip that step, if you get what I mean. It's kind of like if you're going for an exam and you've read chapter 1, chapter 2, but you haven't read chapter 3, chapter 4, and you jump to chapter 5. Then when you go to do the exam, whenever any answers come up about chapter 3 and chapter 4, you're just like, I have no idea. I can guess, but I haven't. So there's maybe the soul has got a specific timeline that it's following, so that it can understand a lot more about itself. That's coming through as well. So even with this activation of this grid and everything, you might have divine timing of when things start happening for you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what time I came on here, how long I've been talking for. I just had this pull to do this, so I did it. Is there anything else? Those that go into the higher frequencies are going to have a lot of gifts coming their way because they're now focused in on what they want to create more than what they don't want to create, or the fear. Another thing that came in my vortex, as you know, I'm creating the master classes, and everything that I've done in the past, because it wasn't my timing to activate, but I was learning as I was going, didn't work. And so I had in my head, oh my God, it's not going to work. And anxiety started to kick in. And then I changed it up. And I want to tell you this, even though I feel vulnerable saying it, so that it could help you. I saw the issue that was within me, and then I went, okay, so what's the opposite feeling of that? I am gifted with a lot, like things do work out for me. And so I started to just repeat it in my head. Things do work out for me. But I started to look for, in the past, all the things that have worked out for me. And there's a lot that has worked out for me. So I started to focus in on the feeling of when something worked out for me. And I kept repeating in my head every time I got that anxiousness, things do work out for me. And it alleviated the anxiousness for a whole day. And then the next day, and it was so interesting. In the middle of the night, I woke up and I had the anxiousness again. It only happened for a moment, and then I caught it very quickly. And then I turned it into things work out for me, things work out for me. And boom, this ding, ding, ding happened. This is the middle of the night, from someone on the other side of the world that then clicked on my Wix and said that they are really interested in the master classes. So to see how quickly that came about for me. So, and there's a lot of information, especially about the pineal gland and that third one. There's a lot of wisdom poured through for that. Things that are theoretical that might not be so theoretical in the future. Any case, about, channel messages and interesting stuff about the pineal gland. Any case, just wanted to let you guys know that, because you might need to readjust your neuron paths to be because as soon as you're focusing in on, yes, of course I deserve and this will happen, it starts to open up. And now I've got other ideas even past the master classes. So my team and my chat bar group and all of those people that follow me are going to be up for some juicy stuff, because I am going to create so much. You're going to be so surprised. Anyway, it's going to be exciting. Yeah. In any case, let's get back to the grid line. Is there anything else to be said about this grid line being activated, please? And the contacts that's going to be made. If your soul comes straight from Pleiades, you will feel this, you will know this, you will already have this some sort of understanding that something's going on within you. it does feel a lot more serene. When you have control over your mind instead of your mind having control over you, it changes your reality because you can then step into more. You can step into things that you would not taken a risk on before. You can take a risk on now because you have the capacity within your mind to shift yourself into central position at any given moment, come to peace within yourself. And so then you can take more risks. That actually opens you up to taking more risks. The fear doesn't limit you anymore. So this whole activation that's happening is also activating that within us. Yeah. Yay, Yannicka, you're so excited to participate in the class. It's going to be so much fun. I mean, it'll be another month before you do the Zoom classes because you need at least a month to go through these 4 classes and to try out the telepathy games that I've created and see how it's working for you. And then I thought it would be a good time a month later to actually get online Zoom calls and talk about this between each other. So it'll be fun, as well as enlightening. Okay, guys, I think I will leave it there. I will be live on Tuesday with another Tuesday channeling as per usual, and Thursday with big questions asking tarot. And anything in between, I would definitely let you guys know what I'm feeling, what's coming through me from my guides. Yeah, there's definitely a spark that's happening, a resonance that's happening, a new resonance, and understanding that we're not alone too. You're going to feel a lot more connected through this, especially the light workers who have felt alone. They're going to feel a lot more connected once this starts to happen, and understanding that they're not alone. A vibration will meet with more, even though it might be etheric to begin with. There will be a collective of us coming together to do work together as well, because it's shifting us up. We're no longer need like that. Once the grid line, oh, that's so juicy. Once the grid line is activated, then the actual people that have been put in families all over the world, and never the twain shall meet kind of thing, have a capacity to move because the grid line is activated there. That's why they were put all over the world, so that the whole world is grid lined, and then we can then move towards each other, create space, create communities, more communities. It's not to say that those communities aren't being activated in certain areas. Some of us are doing that already, but there's going to be even more activation of coming together with like-minded souls, with no fear. It's no fear. The risks have been alleviated because of the capacity of being able to come back into central position at any given moment and not allow that the outside world to dictate the fear to you anymore. That's really cool too. Okay, guys, I will leave it here. Until next time. Bye.